Well, hello and welcome and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Rook and Rasp, a special show that we're doing pickup game for Series of Play, and we're going to be playing Galactic Dawn. And this game is going to be coming to. Uh, let's go ahead and get some gaming going, and of course.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. So Galactic Dawn, excuse me, is a GM sci-fi world building game. So us three to four are going to be playing and kind of creating our own factions, and then by interacting with each other, we're going to basically create a setting. At the same time, telling kind of the important narrative threads that kind of piece all the setting together. So I think that's what kind of sets this game apart and makes it fun, is that we very intentionally look at those threads. So how this Let's Play is going to go basically is you're going to see us do a lot of collaborating with each other and make a bunch of note cards or kind of sticky notes representing all these different ideas of the galaxy or setting. And then over the course of the gaming session, right, we'll get more and more detailed and kind of get more and more into this task that we are all doing together. So uh, for us, normally you could play this game with a number of kind of different scenarios, but the scenario we're going to go with today is kind of the example quick start, right? So when you pick up the game, if you don't know what to do, this is all outlined for kind of your good, easy start. Essentially, how this goes is we are all some sort of Arcus. By Arcus, I mean basically any kind of intergalactic force, right? It's more expansive than civilization. Maybe you're a business. Maybe you're some sort of nonprofit organization or kind of a loose band of bandits, and you all have different types of goals. And so, what we are particularly playing around is trying to restore a planet called New Korak. We've all been invited by kind of the shadowy Duke figure who's promised us a cosmic wish that can grant us great power if we're the one Arcus to bring the most improvement to this basically post apocalyptic fractured world. And he has laid out kind of a number of very cryptic ways that we are supposed to try to improve this world in some not so light ways. So his four calls to us are pacify to purify, subservience is ascendance, devotion is freedom, and chaos is the root of ignorance. So those are the kind of axioms that we're all going to be judged based on our actions. But maybe we want to advance that, or maybe we're just here to kind of get our own type of motivation accomplished on this planet. That's what we're all going to play to find out. Okay, so to start us all off, we have a whiteboard here, and we are going to basically each make our own Arcus. So if you all go over to the Arcus cards, you should see that there's four, we may be doing 3 or 4 Arcuses. And so the first step basically is to figure out what do we want to be. So do you have ideas? You all have ideas for like what type of organization or group do you want to represent in coming to this world?
Interesting.
What about like a Doctors Without Borders kind of organization?
Yeah, I think that's totally valid.
So should I write that in somewhere?
Yeah, so you're going to want to claim one of these, and then
Okay.
you could start fleshing out what do you think the name of your Arcus is.
Okay.
And then you also are going to want to fill out.
Okay, type. There we go. Typed.
You should be able to like double click on it and then.
Yeah, just double click on the thing.
Oh, okay.
No, you're writing a new one.
Yes. Okay.
You have
Instead.
to click on name right there.
I'm on pencil for some reason.
Yes, you have to click on the text one probably. As we all troubleshoot Miro.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I'll just write it.
Christoph, are you able to edit that one you're clicking on?
Yeah, I can edit all of them. What do you want me to call it?
I
should zoom in though, I can't see.
Intergalactic Healers Association. I don't know.
Okay, so while we brainstorm that, another thing we should do is basically fill out, being a little strange, we should also fill out a framing list. So a framing list will kind of help us decide what we do or don't want to see in the game. So this is both kind of a safety function, right? Maybe there's some topics people don't want, but it's also kind of a nice framing, right? Not everyone wants to play a Dune planet, right? And so if we start from the start and be like, oh, I just watched Dune, I really don't want to explore a desert planet, we can say, ban, let's not explore a desert planet. So we can label safety things and also kind of like content things. Or maybe there is something we really want to see, like, oh, we really want to explore psychic powers. We could put that on the ad. It doesn't mean we will necessarily do it, but it's kind of a placeholder if we would like to do that at some point. So as we start to brainstorm our arcuses, we should also think about what are some things we would like to see or not like to see.
Okay, where's the
I'm throwing them up there.
the place we're writing these down?
Yeah, throwing out a couple of rectangles.
So how many Arcus are we? Are you playing one as well?
Yeah, I'll play one as well. This is a GM-less game, so I think it's probably more interesting for everyone if I'm participating as well. Okay.
Aha! Now I can use it. Okay.
Nice.
Is it working now? There you go.
Yes, there we go. I can type. Okay.
Okay. Is there anything we would like to add or ban?
Well, I think we should be dealing with ecological disaster.
I think that's a great idea. Is that cool with everyone else as well?
Yeah.
All right, we'll throw that one on there.
And
a common topic might too be like, what's the level of technology? Sci-fi can look a lot of different ways, right? Do we want like fantasy, like Star Wars, The Force, or do we want like more hard sci-fi, or maybe kind of like low-tech sci-fi, kind of like Firefly was, where everything's kind of falling apart?
well, steampunk.
Steampunk?
Okay.
How does everyone feel about steampunk?
No, you don't have to do that. That was mine. That was something I threw out. We don't have to do that.
Well, let's maybe talk about stuff we don't like. How sci-fi do we want to be? Do we want to be like sci-fi, but they're psychics? Do we want to be like hard sci-fi? Do we want to be like
what if it's
weird
like
magical world? Do we want to be like Diablo, where we're like building this world up from hellscape or something? Like, we got lots of choices.
what if it's like there's some tech, but the tech is provided by magic?
Magitech?
Yeah. Like in Avatar, when the lightning benders were like feeding the electrical grid kind of thing, you know? Like they summon
Okay.
lightning to power the thing.
There are several levels of magitech we can talk about. There's like crystal magitech, where you have like a resource in crystals where it has to be put into things and then you can make things work. There's person powered magitech. There is
what about elementals? What if it's like elementals? Like you have like a fire elemental in your stove, and you have
like summoning magitech, where you have to put various things in it. Or are we talking even are we talking like small, like major ones like the 5 elements, or are we talking like every little thing is like a different type of like
I
house
like the idea of there
spirit
being
and stuff?
yeah, I like the idea of like kind of melding the sort of fey house spirit elemental. You know, you can have a little steam spirit or a a tree spirit that helps you with the, growing your bushes or
Okay, I propose we call
whatever.
this Spirit Tech.
Ooh. I'm just spitballing things here, by the way. You don't have to know.
That's how the game works, I suspect.
It's all great, yeah.
So we've got Spirit Tech and ecological disaster. Did the Spirit Tech cause the ecological disaster? That's my question.
Ooh. Could it be like overuse or yeah.
So I will say
maybe doing it in the wrong way. Like they weren't making friends with the spirits. They were just taking them and using them.
Forcing them, yeah.
So some of this we can decide during play too. So one of the things we want to explore might be like, how did this world fall to ruin? We don't have to necessarily define that ahead of time, if it's an interesting story at least.
Let's put that in, what is it? Is that a thread or something?
Yeah, so I will add that to a shared thread and I'll explain what those mean a little bit later.
What bands do we want? So do we want like things to be able to be up to industrial levels of tech, or do we want to ban that? Do we want to play with that? Maybe that'd be part of this.
I like just like pre-industrial era. So maybe you've got like you've got like a loom. You've got like an industrial loom, but you don't really have like a car. Like maybe some of your most common like
tech.
Yeah.
Do we want not to have that or not to start with that?
Not to start with that.
Okay, so I don't know if that's really a ban, but okay.
Ban.
What about other things like? Are we gonna have like necromancy or like people being able to be used this way in terrible ways and stuff? Like what sort of evil are we dealing with and may or may not represent? And are there any of those that we want to ban?
A lot of the ones that we dare not cross or should not do. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Spirit Tech thing is a little bit touching on that already. So.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a fair call, right? Like in terms of tone, do we want there to be such dark undertones as slavery? Because we can ban slavery and say there's some other sort of way that these spirits are helping us that isn't necessarily slavery per se.
Yeah, like it could. Yeah, or it could even be that the humans don't understand that the spirits are sentient in any way.
Well, maybe they're not.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Other bands.
Band. What about gods?
Yeah.
You want to hit those or?
Can we ban religion, just in general?
I'm fine.
If we'd
just
like,
not play with that, because we're gonna play with all this spirit stuff. Maybe not deal with the whole thing and have people worshiping them and stuff. Like,
yeah, I like it.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it? I think it might be more interesting not to go there because it's a really easy place to go.
So I think if we ban religion, what that means is not that religion doesn't exist in the world, but just that it's not a topic we feel like exploring as much. I'm sure people have their own faiths in universe. It'd be a little weird if no one had any faith, but like someone's not gonna play as like some religious cult pushing some narrative if we throw it on the ban list.
Yes.
Right.
So we can do all sorts of other crazy things, but we don't have any human slavery or religion. Okay. Should we come back to this after we do other things, or do we have more for this?
So I think this is a good starting point. We can revisit this basically whenever we want. If we come up with a new thing, we're like, oh, we should do this, we can throw it on the list. Or if we come across the thing that was like, oh, I just thought of this sour note that could come up, let's ban this while we can. anytime during the game we could revisit that. So the next things on our list are to start trying to figure out what the Arcus is that we personally want to play. And at the same time, as we're doing this brainstorming, we might come up with some things we know want to be in the world somewhere, but we don't know exactly how yet. When we do this, we should create a universe card. And a universe card is basically a placeholder for a future card. In the interim, we know it exists, you can interact with it, but it might transform into something more concrete later. Like, for example, if we know the moon is really important, we can make a universe card that's like the moon. So we know the moon is there, and maybe one day we'll do something with it, but we're not required to, if that all makes sense to folks.
Okay, so universe cards are like flexible like that. They could become factions or units or figures or any of the other cards that we see listed over there.
Yep.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
In defining the Arcus, so the first thing, right, is what are you in a literal sense, right? And then what's your name? And then you also want to give yourself some tags. Tags are just kind of like 1 word or 2 word short explanations for some sort of flavor. And you can give yourself as many of them as they make sense, right? If you are a very particular species that's important to your Arcus's identity, that might be a worthwhile tag. Now, you also want to differentiate your tags from your pillars. So each of us will create 3 pillars, and those are basically like the fundamental concepts, ideas, or technologies that uphold our archi and make them what they are. But they should be things that can change, because your pillars might erode and go away later on, right? Depending on how you use them. So you wouldn't want to put something out as a pillar that you just never want to lose, right? It should be something that is interesting if it changes or goes away.
Interesting.
So like for my healer organization that I invented here, with things like technology and education, makes sense.
Yes. Though I would push you to be like a little more specific if you can. So like what kind of technology is unique to you or is a nice resource? Like maybe you come and you've got this big supply of Medigel that is in theory exhaustible, right? Or something could happen to it. But while it lasts, that really helps you fulfill your mission.
Yeah.
Like, would you say something like where the Medigel's from? Would we call it like Medigel Farms or Health Potion Alchemy, or like as a general magical type that this intergalactic healers organization would have?
Like the alchemy labs.
Hmm.
That they have alchemy labs that they build.
And I think you can change the size of this pretty easy. So
oh yeah, I just realized that. Okay, and then
it goes on 1 or 2 lines.
Oh yeah, the sizes are a little wonky.
Sometimes it's dynamic in Miro, and sometimes it isn't. Really sure why. So what is everyone else thinking of putting as an organization or as an Arcus?
So my idea that came to mind as soon as we started talking about elementals and how they power things was to be some sort of business that farms elementals. Initially, it was going to be like, oh, maybe I capture them. And then we put the slavery on the ban. And it's like, okay, I don't like the idea of capturing them. So I'm thinking of being like a business that basically has CAFOs, concentrated feeding operations for like hogs, but instead they're elementals. So we're like going to this planet as some fertile ground to breed elementals for society's use.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Probably not great for the environmental devastation, I imagine, as foreshadowing. You got any ideas, Christoph?
I am thinking about, I was trying to figure out the name for it.
Names are hard.
Mostly because I'm trying to think of something good. Spirit. Like,
What's your like loose concept that you're thinking
Okay,
of?
so my loose concept right now, I'm just trying to come up with it, is like literally a revolutionary group that wants to seize the planet and turn it against the Duke.
I think that's a good idea. And I think that also brings up I think a good universe card that we should make, which is basically like there are indigenous people here. We don't have to define what they are, but like assume if you're establishing a rebellion, you're thinking of like the local people, unless you're like bringing everyone with you and then revolt.
I
Or
think
you revolt when you got spirit.
it's more like a group from that is against the Shadow Lord in general, or Shadow Duke in general, and has kind of infiltrated this effort, not necessarily to undermine it, but to turn it against him. Yes.
So you're basically implying that like the Duke is not isolated. This is part of some broader effort that connects to your faction, or do you think like your people are from this planet originally?
I wasn't necessarily going to be from this planet. I wasn't sure if
Got
we're having anybody on this planet to begin with, because of the description we gave. There might not even have been people. Like, I feel like we're prepping this weird spirit planet that has a bunch of weird spirits on it that allows this special spirit tech. And then the Duke wants to use that spirit tech in the greater universe, and we're coming to take control of the spirit tech from him with my Revolutionary Front organization, or whatever it is.
Could be like the Spirit Liberation Front or something.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
Sometimes it's good to start there and then just if you think of something better, jump on
I think I'm gonna call it Ogre.
that.
We're up here with 3 acronyms. That's great.
Well, there you go.
So another thing, a couple more things to think about as we go through these. So once we've established our 3 pillars, we also can create a starting settlement. So that's basically just some sort of place and source of labor for us. So maybe we've established a city, that's our base of operations. Maybe we've got a forward operating base. Maybe you've got like this orbital base that simply orbits the planet. Maybe you've got some like big mothership that hangs around in the solar system. Just some initial starting place where you are kind of coming from, and then it's also in the area. So you wouldn't want to make like your home planet as your settlement, because that's not really within the bounds. This bounds is probably more so like this specific planet, which we can change later if we want, but that's kind of the starting premise, I think.
Right. What about
Yeah.
what about like a Deep Space Nine kind of concept where it's like a station that's near a couple of planets, but it's
So that
way
means
out.
your class would be Station, and your name would be like Medistation 16 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
You took it in a form of a question, so I answered the question.
Station 60 no, Key Smash.
St. Jude's.
Our Lady of Perpetual Agony. Let me think.
The Spiritual Relief Facility.
Let's see.
So I think what I'm thinking for mine is my first settlement will be a farm where we farm fire elementals. So I'm calling it Firebrand Feedlot, and I think the goal is to like farm enough until we can start exports, which will be at probably some point in the future, and maybe will be its own kind of narrative event where it's like we're inviting all these ships to export stuff, but for the moment we're pretending we're not doing that. Maybe.
Oh, that's good. No, it doesn't have a U in it, does it? That doesn't have O in it. Okay. The recuperation station.
I like the recuperation
I
station.
think it should be recoup a station.
Just like that. Or put an R on it. There we go.
Recupera station. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Let's see. Tags for this specific one is emergency and what's that called? General practice. Okay, what about connections? What are connections?
Yes. So each of us should establish 2 connections, and since we've got 3 archi going, we should establish a connection with each of each other, basically. And they do not need to be reciprocal connections, right? One might be positive, one might be negative. Something that I share with Ogre, I could view as positive, that Ogre could view as negative. So basically, it's some sort of kind of starting point so that we're not starting from nothing when we begin taking actions, right? What do we know about each other already? This is kind of starting a little bit in media res, right? So like, what's happened so far that has left a lasting impression on each other?
Okay. Okay. I think what my organization is that doesn't look right. My organization is open to all. So anybody can show up. But I think the elemental feeding operation has like a special contract with us to come in. Like they have you know, they have, I don't know, some kind of direct ambulance route or something.
So maybe we like are a supplier for you as you try to get established. Like, so what's maybe one type of elemental you would need that we could supply to you and you would get benefit from?
Right. So like fire and steam elementals would be really useful in sterilizing equipment. Because you've got to heat things and you've got to boil water and you've got to, cleaning, you put things in an autoclave, that's steam cleaning, right?
Yeah, so maybe like fire elementals are kind of like a nice foundation, right? They create energy, they help more practical purposes. You can't really get by without a few, probably.
Yeah, and you don't want a hospital to be cold.
Right.
Right. Even just warming the room is gonna, and you have to feed people when they're in a hospital. So you need a kitchen fire and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. That feels kind of reciprocal too, right? I get to supply you, I assumedly get some sort of money or whatever is valued on this planet from it, and you obviously get what's probably a scarce resource here.
Yeah, and like you would, if you were, say, building a new town somewhere, you would want a hospital, and you'd want to know that your hospital was gonna be warm and have a kitchen and have clean items, so you could, you can see why people would make it a priority.
Mhm.
because it has an obvious like social benefit.
Yeah. What about Ogre? How's Ogre coming, Christoph?
Oh, I created my settlement, which is a hidden bunker, the deep underground military base, which is a term that I came up randomly looking on the internet and did not choose because it's of its acronym at all. And that they are covert and they have spirit comms. They could communicate via spirits in the wild.
I like it.
From the base. That's how they came interconnected. And I was having a bit of a time trying to figure out the pillars part, and I was working on the tags and stuff for this. I don't know about the connections. I think my biggest connection to each of you is we have agents inside your people.
Oh yeah.
We are inside you.
Two things immediately jump out from my perspective to Ogre, which would be like, I could see one, us wanting the genetic makeup of your whatever elementals power your spirit comms, which I assume is some sort of closely guarded secret, because obviously we want to farm them. I could also see kind of a like Coca-Cola-esque story where it's like, I want to try to fund these revolutionaries because the regime they promise is probably a bit friendlier to my business if we have good relations than whatever the Duke's got going on. So either of those kind of vibe for me.
Yeah. So I think either of those can work. You can have any sort of attitude towards me you want. We shall still overthrow your capitalist big dogs. No matter how you wish to use us, we will still destroy you. Power to the people.
Yes, we've heard that one before.
And the spirits. Power to the spirits.
Power to the spirits. Yeah, I think there's definitely some IHO agents in Ogre as well. You know, I think they're pro. Some I can see how some of them would be pro spirit freedom. But really, I think the healers organization is more focused on simply offering healing and medical care more than anything. So they try to sort of stay apolitical. I think they try to not be on any side of anything.
Wow,
as
you're
much
the
as
worst.
possible. Yeah. Well, because they have what do they call that? The Hippocratic oath. Like they have a sort of oath to offer healing and care to all, regardless of your, you know,
I
if
don't
you're.
see that as a pillar.
Oh yeah, should have put that in the pillars. I put it up here. That does make more sense, actually. Put that in here.
Yeah, I think either could work. Just depends on what you would like to potentially see shift around or not.
Medical.
What's more important?
Or,
So are pillars supposed to be like philosophies or things, or like what
They can
makes
be
it
either.
a pillar?
They're super flexible. What makes it a pillar is that it's something that helps define you, that you use to help get things done. So if you're taking an action, you might see one of your pillars as an effective way to support that action, right? So if I'm trying to set up a new farm, I might rely on my elemental gene bank to make that action more likely to succeed, right? Maybe we got some big bank of all these different elementals and we pull into them to kind of get our good starting genetics to make a farm or something. Or maybe my pillar ethical guidelines not found, right? I can, when doing something, invoke the fact that we don't really have any ethical guidelines, and so we're a lot more creative in terms of what means we take to our ends.
So I have a pillar called Spirit Bombs. That's not going to cause any problems at all. And then I have another one called Sympathy of the People. And then I'm working on the other one. I was calling it Spiritual Revolution, but I don't know if that's distinct enough. So I think I might just go.
If I can suggest, maybe like
in any face or something, or faceless.
What about like whatever ideology you see guiding your revolution? Seems to be anti-capitalist from a very brief interaction, but is there like a specific motivation there?
Okay. All right, let's do something real then. How do you spell that? There we go. This won't cause any problems to our game at all. We follow an ancient tome of freedom. A book by Paul Lafarge called The Right to Be Lazy.
I like all of these pillars because I think they'll all make really interesting stories should they end up not existing anymore or change it. What's a revolution by a different motivation if that were to change later on?
For sure.
Okay. So the next bit is to essentially decide on what our threads are. So the threads are like the things we want to explore when we take actions. In other words, you want to make sure that there is always a thread going on that is some sort of plot line that you want to see the next step of. And to that end, we all have a personal thread, which is basically what do we want to get done right now? We also have shared threads, which are things that multiple of us have interests in doing. We cannot work on each other's personal threads, so that's just your own thing. Shared things are things we all might find some sort of common interest in.
Okay. Should we work on some shared threads? We got what causes devastation. We got that one already.
Yep.
Is there another one that we want to work on?
I would think some form of exploration, like even why, but like kind of exploring, like looking into finding more people, exploring what kind of spirit home, things like that.
I wouldn't
That's a good
mind
idea.
one like the Duke's secret plot or something. Because we need to be specific, right? These need to be actionable.
Mm-hmm. This all sounds good to us. I think those are three solid starting threads, right? What caused devastation? Some sort of planetary exploration, the idea being we're all still new to this planet, what's here, and then what's the Duke's motivation, right? Or what is the Duke doing in broad strokes? So those are all very big unknowns intentionally set up in the prompt. So that tracks, right?
Planet exploration seems a bit broad. No.
It doesn't have to be so specific. We might figure out what exactly this means through progressing it. So we can start specific or broad.
I feel like this would make a really good show, like a weekly show, you know? Where you could have like one episode, they go to a new part on the planet, and then the next episode, it's a plot about the Shadow Duke. And then the next episode, you know, you could like rotate Or you could do like a Monster of the Week type show where you find new elementals all the time. You
So
have
that
like your beloved rebellion characters. Yeah.
that does remind me to explain one more thing, which is that us in this session are helping to define this world in what we would call an era. So I added on here just a question mark era card, which basically means that we don't know what kind of era we're in until the era has happened. We'll define what the era is when we're done playing. And when that is could be when we're literally done with the stream, and kind of after we're done, we'll be like, okay, let's now break down what happened and do some unpacking. Or it could be less natural than that. Maybe we get to the end of the stream and we're like, wow, if we were playing a long running series, we would want to keep progressing what's happening and then close the era out later. I think it's fun to do it at the end of play, but just keep in mind, we will have kind of a defined era, and then there may or may not be a time skip. There may not be broad changes, and the next time people would meet to play, they would explore a new slice in the future of what's happening in this world.
Cool. I like it.
Okay. What kind of personal threads are you all thinking of?
Where did I put? Oh, expanding medical knowledge via an unknown or new force. So maybe like some kind of elemental use, or like an herb or a berry that does something, or maybe like they discover psychic powers or something, in which that becomes a viable like method for healing, or they meet a new alien race that shows them a new way to do it. That kind of thing.
I like that because it's not just like helping people. Like, it's clear you've got this other thing that's motivating why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really interesting, as opposed to just being like, oh yeah, we want to heal a lot of people. It's like, well, yeah, we'll do that, but we're really trying to expand what medicine is.
There's like a science sort of exploration aspect to it, where there's like, what if some alien berry cures a specific disease or something? Wouldn't that be neat? That was my thought.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Christoph?
Infiltrate the explorers to discover their secrets.
That works. My personal thread is very straightforward. I'm simply looking to amass the elementals for export, which means creating new farms, growing our existing ones, and kind of contributing to these shared objectives, I think. Okay, well,
I just want to find out all your threads.
Yeah, it's a publicly traded company. We're an open book, you can just look up our records. Okay, so that is set up. Is there anything else we want to add to before we get into actually playing the game proper?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's get into it then. So, how this works is there's no particular turn order. Basically, once you have a good idea of what you would like to do, you can go ahead and take your turn. Because there's 3 of us taking turns, it's pretty chill as long as we remember who's going for each round. So during a round, we each get 1 turn. And on that turn, we can essentially do one of two things. At the start, we'll basically do one thing, which is a narrative action. That's basically us pointing to one of these threads and saying, I want to figure out what happens next. Once you do that, I'll walk through the steps for how to take a narrative action. In future rounds, we might also want to do combat with each other and kind of have some conflict that involves some rolling dice. When we want to do that, that'll be a combat action. We'll explain that kind of later on when it's relevant.
Should we have created some universal cards already?
So universal cards are helpful when they come up naturally. If we weren't naturally kind of thinking of them, which they didn't seem to come up naturally, I think it's helpful just kind of move past. If you all have ideas for things you want to throw out, we should absolutely do that. But I tend to view it a bit more kind of an organic part of the process. But if you've got some ideas, absolutely, we can make them.
I feel like it would be probably nice to have something to focus on a little bit for us. Like we literally have like a space station and like some feedlot and like a far distant like underground base and stuff. Like we all have our little secure corners. Might be nice to have something to focus on. I was going to suggest something like a spirit garden or some sort of like place or something of that sort, or maybe an event that's upcoming for us all to be interested in.
Ooh, I like an event.
Sure. Yeah, so I would say just feel free to start copying some of these universe cards and filling some stuff out.
I think we could have something like like we don't know what the life cycle of all these spirits are that we're using to the spirit techs involved in, but we could have some sort of like grand thing where they all come together or something. You know, that thing from Avatar or whatever. What do we call it?
Like a convergence of
Yes.
of all the different elementals.
Elemental convergence.
Ooh, that sounds good.
All right, I'm making a quick card for that.
Or we can just call it L convergence. That means the same thing, right?
What
And
if?
then maybe a place that the convergence happens. We could make it add another card or a location or something.
Yeah. What if it's a series of small planets
Whoa, changing everything now.
that the series of small planets that has no, it's one no, it makes more sense to have one big planet with a bunch of different elementals on it. What if the convergence happens at like the equator of the planet? And maybe on the equator
But like
is
a tree or like an island or like a
yeah, and maybe that's like where the big
ancient cave where they all came into existence originally, a billion years ago.
I like island. What if the major city in this place was built on this place where they come to convergence because it's the biggest party?
So we need a card for the city,
Yeah,
which would
or
be like, how would we just
okay.
call it Downport?
Ooh.
Sure.
And maybe it's like directly under your Recoupa station, and that's why it's like a downport from there. And there's like a space elevator, and
Yeah. I like
the
it.
actual like neighborhood would be like Spirit Town or something where everyone's coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got that down.
Okay, maybe put it the tag there. Center of the elemental convergence as a tag, so we know why
Under this one?
downport's important. Yeah, right there. He's already writing it. Super keen.
Got it.
Excellent. Okay. Now we should start, I think. Thank you for. I just saw that part in there and I remember you mentioning it. I'm like, hey, we should have some stuff that like brings us all together. Like a convergence of elements. Literally.
Both a meta and literal. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Can't put your meta in the world. What are you even doing?
Would someone have an interest in going first, or would you like me to go first? I will happily walk you through how to take a narrative action. So basically, to be ready to go, all you really need to know is which of these threads you want to progress and some shred of idea of kind of what you want to see happen.
Well, why don't you go first and walk us through it?
Sure. Okay, so I'll be taking a narrative action, which is kind of what we have to start here. And so basically I have to figure out what type of thread I want to progress. And I think the one I want to progress would be the exploration, because as much as I would love to set up some new farms, I don't really know what's here yet. So I think I want to try to figure that out. I'm going to go through the order of operations for how to do this. Generally, how this game works is you follow the order of operations until you kind of get in a good state, and then you can kind of ignore them. But they're there to help kind of scaffold you into kind of putting together a narrative. And then eventually, right, sometimes you don't need it, sometimes you do. But I'll follow them initially just to start. So the first thing is incorporate a thread. So select a thread that I want to progress. I'm going to select the shared thread, planetary explorations. Then I'm going to state intentions. So in other words, in general terms, what would I like to do? And I think I would like to try to scout to find some sort of new type of elemental that I haven't found before, right? Maybe it's like a whole new element or something, or maybe it's just a different kind of genetic strain of some other type of elements we're all familiar with, right? What's new on this planet? That's what I want to find out. Next, I then select a source card. So what is going to be taking this action? Here, I can select one of my existing cards, right? So maybe I'm sending people out from Firebrand Feedlot to exploring for me, or I might choose to kind of create a free figure card, which is that I have someone in mind, like a specific person I want to do this. I could just create that card and then send them on that action. So what I will do is I think I will create a figure card. So if you to the left of kind of that starting map is a bunch of example cards. I'm going to pull over a figure. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
So I'm gonna say these figures are scouts, right? That's their job, is to figure out what's going on. And I'm gonna call them pretty basic elemental surveyors. I think that's surveyors ORS or ERS? I think ORS. And I shall give them a tag. Topographical experts. So these are people specifically trained to kind of scout out alien worlds and get the lay of the land, right? So they kind of somewhat know what they're doing, at least. So they're going to be my source, and then select a target, which is basically saying, is there a specific card I want to target? If not, what generally do I want to target with my actions? I don't have a particular target here. I think I'm just kind of trying to map out a new area of the world. And then next, I specify a means, right? So how am I getting this done? Are there any specific tags that inform what I'm doing? And additionally, do I want to use a pillar to bolster my effort? If I use a pillar, my action is more likely to succeed. But if I don't succeed perfectly, then my pillar becomes eroded. And if it becomes eroded again, then I lose that pillar. So it's good, but if you use it, you have to be willing to potentially lose it.
Okay.
I think I will use the pillar startup capital. So we've got a lot of initial money that was given to us by our corporate overlords to go make this project a success. Absolutely, we could run out of that, but as of now, undefined amount. Also going to use the topographical experts tag. They're familiar at mapping alien topographies, even if they're not familiar with this specific one. And I think that's going to do it for me. I would then move to roll for success. So, in other words, right, what happens here? How rolling works in this game is typically you roll 2d6 and you want to shoot for a 7 as a perfect success. If you're lower than that, you could have a cautious success, which means you succeed, but you kind of come up a bit short of what you were wanting to do because you were too cautious. You could have a cautious failure where you fail because you were too cautious, right? You really underperformed. You didn't put enough energy and gumption in it. If you roll too high, you could have a reckless success, right? So you fail due to too much intensity or effort, right? You're a little too gung-ho about this and you slipped up, you were careless. And you might also have a reckless failure, which is the same thing, but you did it so bad that you failed, right? And the roll system is basically skewed towards perfect success, cautious success, and reckless success. Failures do happen, but they're a bit more rare. So with that, I'm going to roll 2d6 and then 1 extra d6 because I'm using a pillar, and I'll basically choose which 2 I like of those 6. So do a quick roll here. So I got a 6, 4, and a 2. So basically that means I can do 4 plus 2 for a 6. I could choose a cautious success, or I could do 6 plus 2 for an 8 and choose a reckless success. So do I think I would be more cautious or more reckless? And I think I would absolutely be more reckless. So what that means is I accomplish my objective, but at a cost. I take a narrative action of my choice and a narrative effect of my choice, and add myself as a sponsor on the thread. And then the table takes a narrative effect of their choice at my expense. So there is a whole table of narrative effects in the rules, which are basically just a bunch of things you can pick from that leads to some sort of change in the world, whether that's changing existing cards, creating new cards, or changing the map. And so after I pick what I would like to do, you all then get to discuss and try to figure out what sort of thing do you want to pick that works against me in some way. So
Okay.
I think the thing I want to do is add a map label. So I'm going to like chart out what is the specific area I found and maybe give it a name too.
Okay.
Also going to put myself
Look
on
at this
the
list
map.
again. It's no bookmarks. It's no bookmarks in your PDF.
I know, it's pre-layout.
Word makes bookmarks. Anyways, I'm the worst. Okay.
What page is this on?
It is page 17.
17.
Looking
Okay.
for those narrative tables.
Yep, narrative effects. It's split across 2 pages.
So
Okay.
you are trying to manifest a settlement card, or are you trying to?
I am going to wayfind and add a map label. So I'm going to chart out some sort of area and give it a little name.
Okay. Okay.
And we get to choose one though, because you got a reckless failure, right?
Correct.
Or no, reckless success.
Reckless success. Yeah.
Your comment is at a cost. You take a narrative action of your choice and add yourself as a sponsor to the thread. But the table also takes a narrative effect of their choice at your expense. So we need to choose something terrible for them that counters his wayfinding in some way.
Now I will say, and this is not to save my own skin, sometimes you decide the effect you choose doesn't have to be expressly against their interests, but I think it's more fun to do so. But sometimes you're just like, oh, it's just, I really want this to happen, even though it's not bad for them. Totally up to you all to decide.
What if the path that your scouts followed to this area was made really obvious for some reason, and like now everyone else also knows how to get it.
So we can add it as a settlement, maybe manifest it as a settlement card. Like trying to look at what that make that actually.
Yeah. Like it.
We could also. I was thinking we could make like you get there and everything, but the spirit cards that you find are not exactly friendly, and we could add it as a unit card that isn't yours.
A unit card. That's interesting. Okay. I like that idea.
I mean, it's one of the choices in Manifest. I don't know if it makes any sense.
I think it makes sense.
I'm learning this game live on this
Yeah,
very program.
Another thing you could do as well is you could create a setting card that represents this area I found, and then give it some tags that might work against my interests. So say
Oh,
like
yeah, let's
tag
do that.
hostile creatures.
Okay.
Sure.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so where's the setting cards?
And I think as part of my side of the narrative, I'd like to define that this area I discover is something I'm calling Wool Elemental Grange. So I imagine they're like sheep, but they are wool elementals.
That's so cute. I love sheep. They're so cute.
Did you say? So should I call the setting the same thing?
Yeah, I think so.
But they're hostile. They headbutt you.
And then the tags would be.
They're little horns. They headbutt you.
I was thinking. I wonder if we should have hostile. Like the wool elementals are just wool elementals, but they have hostile like shepherds.
Oh yeah.
Which are like a what do you call it? Like another species that works directly with another one.
Like a symbiotic or whatever. Yeah. I like that.
I like that. That's really good.
Okay, hostile symbiotic lightning shepherds. Control the sheep. Control the wool elementals.
Oh, the wool elemental would be so huggable.
So they're like steel wool.
Conducts electricity, of course.
Yes.
Okay, so then as my turn wraps up, what I'll do is I'll go over to the thread and I'll write a very, very, very short summary under the notes section. That just shows we've progressed it by 1. And while I'm typing that up, you all can start the next action to keep things flowing. One last thing. On the resolution, it says I am added as a sponsor on the thread. What a sponsor is basically just someone who has done enough effort to be substantially invested in the outcome. And when the thread eventually wraps up, after it gets 3 or more progress marks, anyone who's a sponsor will get kind of a bonus narrative effect as a result of the thread resolving. So you want to be a sponsor, but it's like a delayed effect.
Okay.
Okay. So while I type that up, if one of you two has an idea of what you'd like to do, go for it.
What do you think? You got a great idea right there, IHO.
Okay. Well, this is a new planet that we're exploring, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. Well, it's new to us. New to you.
So,
And to you.
I think I will also do the same sort of thing where I will send a whoops. Oh wow. Okay. Where it will I will also send some scouts. Foragers maybe. Well, I'll call them scouts first. Wow, I can't type. Okay.
I mean, I think foragers makes sense.
Foragers. And so
Because they're
are
out there looking for medical stuff, right?
Yeah. Frowager. No. Frowager.
I always just put it in Google and let it do that.
Real quick, Do you have an idea of where, or do we have an idea of where we would like this kind of big city? What was it? Is it downspout? Is it downpour?
Downport.
Downport. Do we have an idea where we would like it on the planet? Does it not matter? I just want to mark it
The
so
Duke's Downport.
Ooh, I think it should be near the convergence, because that would be like I think that would be a place that people would want
maybe, like,
to live.
in the
We
middle.
could put it like here, sticking directly out like this, kind of 3D.
Sure. So like right here, and then you can do a little
like that.
Oh, because that's the space elevator. Yeah.
Yeah.
And make a little.
Oh, brain. Words.
Medical researchers.
There we go. Yeah, they're called the Frowagers.
Little donut.
They kept, kept typoing it that way, so they decided to go with it.
There you go.
A couple of members have afros, just to inspired by the name. Okay. So I will send my Frowagers out. So that gives me 2 dice, right?
Yes. So
but then if I decide to lean on my pillar, one of which is that I have a series of alchemy labs and schools that would possibly support this research and supplies and things. Does that make sense? That I can have another dice for that?
I think so. I think if you can spin a convincing narrative, go for it. That does remind me, though, that because I didn't get a 7, that my startup capital is now eroded. So we've probably lost a significant share on our venture. And so I'm going to find a way to rotate this sideways.
Yes, it's not that you ran out of money, though.
Right.
It should be something like because you can't. You use the ones that are.
What if?
I think I'm going to transform
like
it'll work.
Your
Boom. There we go.
Your stockholders had no won't give you more money because they're not.
I think it should be that due to inaccuracies in your accounting process, you're now under audit. Because that's how startup capital actually dies. You never lose it. It just kind of gets held up so long that you can't actually do anything. And then you go waiting for your money to happen. Yes, I have worked for startups.
Do you think maybe I shouldn't rely on my pillar and just scout out? And
I think you should fly this like a stolen spaceship. Burn it all down.
think you should always use your pillar as long as it makes sense, because it's fun to watch it change. Unless you need to hold on to it, which is also could be narratively interesting.
Yeah. Okay. That is a 5, a 3, and a 3.
A 3, and a 3. So 5 and 3, you can get a perfect success, right?
Woohoo!
That would be 8.
No, that's 8.
Perfect success is 7.
Oh.
Just like Catan.
Oh, so even if I go over.
No, you choose only a couple of the dice. This is the part I didn't get when I originally looked at it either. So if you choose 2 dice, and you don't want to go over and you don't want to go under.
Okay. So I'm basically I'm going over either way, because if I pick 3 and 3, I get 6. And if I pick 5 and 3, I get 8.
You're either over or under. Are you cautious or reckless? If you're cautious, you should go under.
Yeah, I think I'm cautious.
So 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 6.
Let's look at what all this means again.
So
Cautious
cautious success.
success. You
Go for it.
accomplish your objective, but come up short of an optimal outcome due to lack of intensity or effort. You take a narrative effect of your choice.
Okay.
Interesting. So there's no negative like there is for reckless.
The trade-off for the reckless is you become a sponsor, so you're getting more if you're willing to take that cost.
Oh, okay.
So you get what you want, but you don't get to be a sponsor. So that would be a nice thing to directly call out there. But you don't get to be a sponsor.
I don't get to be a sponsor. Okay. I think, because it's such a new place, we kind of erred on the side of caution and maybe didn't send enough people. And so the supplies that we ended up bringing back were not as many as expected.
Okay,
and
so they didn't
maybe
just spend a lot of time in the bathroom playing with their froze. Okay. The lack of effort might be the problem.
Yeah, it was just not enough people. They did get some supplies. They've got some research. They've got stuff they can research, and they've got things that they can work on, but it was just not as much as they had really hoped or anticipated there would be, I think.
Okay, so what is this? Are you making a place? Which success are you taking? You get to choose one of these effects. You can wayfind, which is adding to the map. You can create a new thread.
Mhm.
You can add, change, or remove a tag on a card. So you could add a tag to the same place that our other friend here, this evil corporation, found, and you can add, medical uses for wool or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can make a whole new card up. You can create a person or an agreement, I guess, somehow. We'd have to probably talk about that. Oh,
Your unit universe.
the table's kind of split, so I'm a little confused on how. Are these also effects?
Yes, they are.
This
is just the pre-layout, so in the actual game it will read normal.
I get that.
Okay, so
Migrate. You can move a target settlement.
Okay.
You could investigate and make some notes on cards, which is a little harder.
Okay. Makes notes on cards. What do you mean notes on cards?
I don't know.
So basically, like we have notes on threads, we can just flip a card over and just write some important things on it. Like, oh, here's something we want to remember. If we were to pick up this card in the future, we would know, oh, this thing happened even if it doesn't otherwise show up.
Or you can make any of these cards.
Any of those cards up
You
here.
could make a new faction on the planet that could be supportive of you in some way, perhaps. But you don't get to be the sponsor. What do you think?
What about a figure? That's like a person, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A unit is like a military unit. I don't really understand the difference between unit and figure, to be honest. But
a unit is something of military significance. So it could be like a platoon, or maybe it's a certain group of spaceships. A figure is like a singular person or maybe very, very small group of people that go and do things for you. You probably wouldn't send a flotilla to a negotiation. I mean, maybe you would, but you might send like a grand diplomat to go, right? That would be a difference.
Okay. Maybe I will, when we discovered this new stuff, someone became an expert of it, or they someone who this new plant that we've discovered that has medicinal effects was very similar to another kind of plant that we had a specialist on. And so it wasn't very difficult for this specialist to move their specialty to this new plant. Doctor.
So that brings up another thing, which is that generally, as we play and we do an action, if we think of things that we think should exist, we can kind of just freely create some additional universe cards. So you're making a figure as a target, or as like the effect of your action, but we could also just make a universe card for like, here's some sort of plant important from Medigel that maybe in a future thread or a future action could better define, but we just want to throw it out there because we're talking about it.
Okay. Oh, wait. I didn't put the name in the wrong spot. Medical. I like Medigel. Like it's like a aloe plant.
Yeah.
So this is a Medigel specialist. Why does my monitor keep turning off for several seconds? That's weird.
That's great.
Yeah, it just goes black every now and then. It just started doing it today. It's very weird. Scientist, researcher. Okay. Now, do I have to turn this pillar sideways because I didn't entirely succeed?
Yes.
Okay.
I will do that because I have to like change the formatting a bit with
Oh,
how
right.
this program
Okay.
works.
I was
So I'll do
trying
that
to
for you.
figure out how to turn.
Yeah, it doesn't work cleanly, but it's there now.
Okay. There we go. All right. Done.
Okay. And then while Ogre is going, if you just want to go up to the shared thread and just make a little note of very briefly summing up what you did on that action, just so we have a record of it happening.
Okay.
And I think it'll probably cut off, so I'll just make this a bit bigger.
Thread. Oh, okay.
All right. What is Ogre setting out to do?
So Ogre is going to send out a provocateur, whose codename is Charlie Delta. And they are a freedom fighter, recruiter. And they are going to go and start a revolutionary faction on the planet's surface. So they head out from the Dome at the downport, because I think that's where the Dome is, underground near the downport. And they are going to start a revolutionary group with the assorted leftover peoples on this planet.
Okay. Which thread are
Does
you
that
progressing?
follow all the things? I think that follows all the things, right?
Yeah. Are you progressing your personal thread for that?
Oh, the thread. Yes. I don't think that follows that thread. So I had this idea, but I don't know if it follows the thread. I think he is actually going out. What he's actually going to create is a faction about it. But what he's going out is to find out what caused to get some people to talk to the people who have been here a long time, like remaining population about what caused the original devastation.
Got it.
And so he goes out, tries to find that information, agitates them about whatever he finds so that they will form an organization to aid us in the future. That's the idea.
Makes sense to me. Are you going to use a pillar at all?
I think it makes sense to use sympathy of the people. We're talking to the people. If they're sympathetic, it's good. Which gives me 3 dices, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to roll these 3 dices. And I rolled 2 2s and a 4.
Poor rolls today.
See, very poor. So I don't have any choices. Unless I want to just fail really badly.
Yeah.
That would be a choice, I suppose. Let's look at the choices. So I could... No, that's all the same. No matter what I choose, it's always cautious success.
Well, there you go.
So I get what I want, but effort, it is not intense enough.
Maybe
so
you
I
got
create a new faction, but I don't get to support it or anything like that. So what I'm trying to do is create a faction.
you're just not quite there yet. Or it's like just the people don't feel like it's time to revolt just yet.
Yes, the people are not as revolting as we thought. I mean, instead of a faction, I could create a unit. That might be interesting.
Oh yeah.
I think either works.
Does that
Like
work?
I just think it, in terms of having like the beginnings of the revolution. Like it's not there yet.
I think the unit would be guerrillas. I don't freaking remember.
Or all you get are like everyday people. No, you've only recruited like farmers and laborers and your sort of average people, not ex-military people who know what they're doing, kind of thing.
I think the rules don't say that I don't get what I want. The rules
That's
say
true. Yeah, but it just means you fall a little bit short because of your caution, right?
or just lack of intensity.
Okay. So what I want to know,
guerrilla forces, and then I need to name them.
Ooh.
And then perhaps the tag will show that they are kind of unsure who they're fighting or something. Would that make sense?
I think the missing piece is how this connects to the devastation. So what do you learn about the devastation in the process of recruiting these guerrillas?
Yes, but we go out there to find that. What is causing the devastation? So do I just make something up here, or do we discuss this together? How does that work?
Either or. I mean, I would say what is coming to your mind, and then we can help you riff off it.
Okay. I wanted to send it for a little bit of a thing. What has caused the devastation in the past was literally the spirits being removed from the world. The world needs the spirits on it. And when they're removed, it causes like economic, or not, it causes like ecological damage to where they were before. Like without the sheep in the elemental grange, the grange suffers. And it's not super obvious, but when you take tons away, like a mass exporting of fire elementals or something like that, it causes an imbalance.
Yeah.
Elemental forces left behind because there's no fire there, and now all of a sudden everything's out of control.
Yeah, like the whole wolves in Yellowstone thing, like what they believed were previously completely unrelated, elements of the
Yes.
ecosystem are in fact. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, it's not obvious. It's not an immediate reaction. It takes time, and that time makes it a lot easier to trick people or to make like a quick buck. To you get in and you make your money before anybody notices what's going on, and then you get out before you can be held responsible. Like maybe that's the capitalist response, Does that make sense?
I wrote this down as guerrilla forces. They're called the Finder Corps, and they're local environmentalists. And then under notes, I'll write down that the devastation is caused by removing too many elementals. I don't think that finishes it. It doesn't actually say who did it or anything like that, but that's like the trigger cause. Does that make sense? People like that.
Yeah. I think there's a lot more to this story, I'm sure, that we could explore through the thread, which is good.
Okay.
Kefo is just kind of sweating in the background here. It's like, oh. Sounds like what we might be doing.
Maybe you don't even know yet.
Maybe we're sustainable, regenerative, concentrated feedlots.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. I'm sure that will make just as much money for you.
Okay, so those were 3 actions, and that brings us to the top of a new round. So we've all gone once. We start a new round. We might, if we were a little bit further, then also ask the question, is the era over, right? Is there a good time to end the era? I don't think so. We haven't even resolved a particular thread. We'll also ask that question as we start resolving threads. Like maybe something happens that's just so cataclysmic that it just needs to trigger a new time period. So we'll ask those questions. But with that, we're in round 2. And again, no particular turn order. If someone is like, I know what I want to do right now, you should absolutely jump into it.
Anyone?
Also, sorry, there's like a crazy amount of beeping outside right now, so I'm trying to be on top of silencing it.
We do not hear your beeping.
Good.
I've been having what we like to call the terrible concrete drill across the street from me, drilling for weeks on end so loud we can't hear the television even turned up double the volume it's usually at. So it's not on right now. So we're big winning. I was very worried yesterday when it went till 5.
Oof.
Okay. So I think if no one else knows what they're gonna do,
I have an idea if you want to take a little time because you just went.
Oh, my
You're also
sympathy
welcome
of the
to
people.
go.
Can you turn that sideways?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You're just changing it to a different type of thing, right?
Yep. I didn't expect the note cards to be so dysfunctional.
Yes. The note cards are less note cards and more like diagram cards because they really want to have those diagrams.
Got it. I'm moving myself over to give you some more room.
What? Corporation is going to crowd pour the people here? Seems unlikely.
So, do you know what you want to do? If not, I can take a step.
Go ahead. If you have an idea, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
I think the natural follow-up is we discovered this new area of elementals. I don't think the idea of a wool elemental is necessarily groundbreaking, but it being local fauna, I think we would like to at least try to domesticate it. So I think we're going to try to progress our personal thread of amass elementals for export. And we're intending basically to make a new farm of these wool elementals. Now, obviously, there's going to be some problems with that. There are these electric shepherds around. That's going to be a problem, but I'm sure we'll figure out some sort of way to deal with it. And relatedly, I'm going to use my pillar of ethical guidelines not found because I don't really care if I kill all of those shepherds. That seems fine to me. Okay. I think the source of this action is going to be a management delegation from the Firebrand feedlot. So my other settlement is basically like, hey, here's some blueprints. We're going to send a contingent of our experienced people out to go found this new venture in the area. So with that, I then get 3 dice with my ethical guidelines on the pillar. I'd really like to not lose that one. What might we develop ethical guidelines? That would be a twist. Let's see here.
Necessarily, you could develop legal guidelines.
Yeah.
That's true.
You get
Okay.
in so much trouble.
Cover your butt abilities.
Yeah.
I rolled 2. Oh, it's backwards. Whatever. A 5 and 2 2s. So that does give me a perfect success. 5 and a 2.
Nice.
So fortunately, I don't have to erode that one. So perfect success is you accomplish. You succeed all according to plan. Take your narrative effect of your choice and add yourself as a sponsor on the thread. So I effectively will get 2 effects, but one will be a bit delayed.
Nice.
Okay.
So you get to be a sponsor on your own thread?
Yep. Sponsor is just the delayed gratification of effect once it all wraps up. And so I think it's pretty straightforward here. I'm going to make a new concentrated farm specifically for these wool elementals. I got to figure out what I'm going to name that. But I know that I want one of my tags to be some sort of thing to deal with these shepherds. So I was wondering if you all had ideas for unethical ways to deal with the shepherd problem in a way I can represent in a tag.
Like a bounty. If you put
Oh,
like a
yeah.
bounty on them, the people who need money would go and hunt them. And then maybe once they've hunted a shepherd, that leaves their flock vulnerable for
If you want to go less murdery,
yes.
you could have Faraday cage
Traps.
like corrals. So literally the lightning shepherds can't enter your farm because of the Faraday cage.
Ooh.
Like they can get to it, but then they get stuck in the Faraday cage.
Oh, and
They're
you keep
electrical.
yeah, and you keep taking them out of the farm and dumping them back in the woods. And then they come back after a while and get caught in the Faraday cage again.
They're both good ideas. I like that one because I think it's honestly actually darker than just going and shooting them. So I think the tag is going to be like a shepherd exclusion device. So we do something to lure in the wool elementals to the farm, and then like shepherds get stopped somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's like we have some sort of electromagnetic device that they're really sensitive to as kind of lightning type beings. And I can only assume that because they rely on the symbiotic relationship, that they probably die some long, agonizing, like starving death or something.
Yes, I think they need their steel wool. Well, that was terrible.
So I'm figuring out the name for this farm, which I can put in while you are going next. But the tags are shepherd exclusion device and steel wool supply. And I'll also make a note on my personal thread as well.
Faraday Farms.
Oh, there you go.
I like that.
Well, every Wednesday.
All right. I'm going to type up some notes. Feel free for someone to take their next action.
What do you think? IHO.
I think we're gonna try and build because we moved a space station into orbit,
Yeah, it's right here.
but maybe we want
Can't make it
to
a blue tab.
have like a
Oh, you just moved it.
did I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time.
Press Control Z.
Okay.
There you go.
What if we want to make a big like a hospital on the planet?
Interesting.
Like instead of going out to the station. I don't know.
What if that looked more like local clinics? You could have a series of local clinics.
Series of local clinics, yeah. Okay.
And so that would be like, what would that be? That might be adding a tag to like your station, literally.
Or what if I try to create a unit of medics? So
like a military unit that can like rush in and
yeah, that can like rush in like in an emergency or natural disaster or something.
Like a medical evac group or something?
Yeah.
You could call it MEG. Meg. We're doing the acronym thing, so I'm putting
yeah, exactly. This
on
is
everything.
acronym town. It's the acronym. Whoops, I keep moving.
I think there's a Final Fantasy reference in there somewhere.
If you press the center button on your mouse, and you can move your screen around without moving things around. So like, you know, your scroll bar, just click on the center of that and it makes a little hand. Miro, fun tip, folks.
That doesn't work. Started using the Vivaldi browser, and I'm finding for some reason, whenever I try to like click and drag, the browser doesn't like it, and it'll take me off the tab. It'll like shut the tab down for some reason. So I don't know if there's some kind of weird setting that I have to change, but yeah.
So when you do this, you need to create, you can't create a unit just randomly. You have to roll for that. You have to use either one of your figures or your station itself, I think, is allowed to be used.
Okay.
And you have to use one of your things. The only thing you can create for free is a figure because they're fragile. Okay. And then you can create the unit as a response to your winning or losing this.
Okay.
So you have to decide who's going to do it. Is it Dr. Blubblefolalam? Is it the same scouts you used last time? Is it the station itself? And then what do they do to try to create this medical unit? It might make sense for the station itself just to like recruit people into a medical evac group.
Yes. Yeah. They would maybe offer like a training session, so like you can come and train in this unit, and then could like train to be a part of this unit. Okay. I'm gonna do this without the pillar. Even though, well, no, because community support is one of my pillars.
Medical care for all, regardless of status.
Yes.
Or the donations of community support.
Like they both
either of those, or
right?
both of them. You could use both
Yeah.
of them. Let's risk it all and roll more dice.
So
Yeah,
you can only get the benefit from one.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Otherwise, you get a point where it's like you always get a 7.
See,
Yeah.
the rules are working against us, folks. Look at that.
Which thread are you progressing again?
Yeah, why are you
Well,
doing this?
why am I doing this? Well, because of this ecological disaster that we can see coming. You know, maybe I know that this means there's going to be like natural disasters and stuff in the future.
That's an interesting thing.
And I want to be ready. I want to be ready now before it gets bad.
It could also affect your personal thread, expanding medical knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, like what
I mean, they both kind of work, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're both slightly outside too, so they're both just, but I think, I don't know. We'd have to have access to the creator of the game or something to really give us judgment on that. But
I think either can work. It really just depends on like what your explicit motivation here is. And obviously this resulting narrative will be very different depending on which thread you want. Like the actual thing and the creating the unit is similar, but like the impacts and why you're doing it, I think is what differentiates it.
Okay. I think it will be in response to like hearing about this ecological disaster. So maybe since these wool elementals have been moved, maybe some scientists, are starting to notice some changes in the ecosystem in that area because of the removal of such a large number. And so, they can sort of
so they're concerned due to some sort of evidence.
yeah, there's already the beginnings of the scientific evidence that says, if we take too much, it will disrupt the ecosystem of this planet. I think that's what I want to go with. And knowing that, just sort of, I want to create this unit before it's needed. Okay.
There you go.
Come on, good roll.
So you have like the negative, like you have a really high electron rate on so many things because of the.
A 5, a 3, and a 3 again. I rolled the exact same numbers again.
So do you want an 8 or do you want a 6? Are you cautious or you're gung-ho on this one? Maybe it's an 8.
What do you think? What makes more sense?
You get to put your name on the shared thread.
Yeah. Okay, let's be reckless.
I feel like it's a reckless, yeah. You're making the military force. I feel like that's unusual for your organization.
Yeah.
Plus, talked about it all. That kind of it sounds like something you'd be reckless.
Mm-hmm. Emergency medical, no, emergency healer unit. There you go.
This also means we get a cost. So what would we like to take working against the IHO here?
Okay, what are our choices again? These are the tables we need.
Yeah, so it's anything on the narrative effects table. I think like for me the big question is like how does the world around respond to the creation of this new very much outsider military unit, right? Like how do the people respond to this?
Maybe they think that it's like the word.
We could actually create a faction.
Like that it's reactionary, that it's too too early to worry about this sort of thing. And maybe trying to think of how to. Yeah.
We could create a corresponding unit card.
I like your idea of a faction. Like, what's some sort of oppositional force?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily need to be enemies with the IHO, but like, isn't necessarily going to take all the things being done to this planet lying down.
Okay.
Trying to think how that would relate to this.
Like an elemental union or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think. It'd be a group. Wouldn't necessarily be like, but they would like maybe watch for like the watch the outsiders activities and stuff.
Like a citizen watchdog force.
Yeah, I really like the idea of some sort of like group of observers.
But they're like a faction.
Yeah.
So it's literally like not a group. It's more like a political. Because factions can have cards, so they're the types who could like take over they could get the Finder's Core and stuff like that.
So we should think of a faction as like a mini Arcus. So they're not as powerful as us, but they are definitely more powerful than just like a random group of people congregated on the street. They could, in theory, do things to support or oppose us.
I like that.
Yes. So, what type of faction are they? We think that they're like
a citizen group, like a concerned citizens group. Yeah.
Maybe it's just the government of this city that I think we've largely been ignoring.
Yeah.
Okay, so a local government, maybe they're kind of bringing themselves back to life, the former government of the city, of the country, of the world. Do we have a name for this world yet?
I think so.
So in the prompt, the name was Korak.
Okay.
I'll throw that up there.
That's fine.
I guess in theory, the locals might call it something else. That was just the Duke's name for it. So we could certainly change that name if we would like to.
I'm fine with the name. I think it's okay.
We could discover later too if the locals have their own preferred name for
it. And then what would the government, if they're a government, I put that down as the class because that kind of made the most sense. Or like provisionary government or something you could call them.
I definitely like them being based in Downport because that's like the main beacon of civilization that we know of, at least so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what would they be called? I kind of gonna get something like Orana or something.
Like.
Sure.
Or like. The
I
Ack.
just remember. Sorry?
How about just the Ack?
Yeah.
And what tags do they get as a governmental faction?
I think my question is, do they have popular support or not?
Ooh.
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe they're seen as kind of fringe.
I think they were deposed. Let's give them that.
I like that.
People might not be happy about it now, but maybe they were deposed. And then the other thing is, we could do it. We could almost do it like the pillars for in like Gumshoe, where you have two opposite ones, like rightful government and deposed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people don't respect them, but they're like the rightful government.
Right.
They were technically deposed, but nothing new has come up, so they're functionally just still going.
Yeah.
Or they're unfunctionally still going.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I just learned a new word.
Confederacy.
Invigilate, which means to watch over students taking an exam to prevent cheating.
What?
The good word. Invigilate.
That's just my day job, I guess. I should
And
know that.
yeah, I was looking up words.
That's a slightly different version of it. I used to do that
Yeah.
as well.
I was just looking up words to. There's this fantastic website called relatedwords.org. It's not a thesaurus. It gives you words like around a word that you put in. And I find it really interesting for finding good words for like names of things. So that was just my that was just a new word to me. New word learning today.
Actually, kind of like maybe like replacing Confederacy with Invigilate.
Yeah.
Mainly
I was
because
thinking the ministry, ACAC ministry, but
that also works.
ACAC ministry. Oh, I like that.
because I think the word core in their language just means world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if we told aliens we were from the planet Earth, and they just started calling us Earth planet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? No, Earth planet. Okay, fine, whatever. So now they're calling us Korak, and I was like, we're actually the ACK. Which
Like,
probably just means like electric dirt or something.
Yeah.
It's like chai tea, it's just PT.
PT.
Chai tea is most exquisite. The word.
Yes.
Okay.
It is most exquisite a tea.
So we have our emergency healer unit, and you only have one tag on it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Units start with one because tags serve as tiebreakers in combat, so you have to gate them a bit more.
Makes sense. So I think Ogre is interested in finding out more about what the Shadow Duke's goal here is, and is going to consult with the provisional government of the IHEC ministry on this.
Ooh.
And I will just send Charlie Delta to do such a thing.
Charlie Delta.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds like
Yes.
the name a spy would use.
No, I don't mean the name. I meant, does my narrative action make sense?
I was just thinking that sounds like a name a spy would use. Like Philodendron.
This is their code name, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's going to use their ancient tome of revolutionary practice in his dealings.
Ooh.
Sounds good. And while we resolve this, let's also put a note on that prior turn thread as well, just to say that we progressed it.
Yes. Which thread was it again? It was on the cause of devastation. So underneath that, you need to write one.
Cause devastation. Right.
Yep.
What?
Yep, just add a new note basically saying very briefly what happened last turn.
I thought I did write that down.
Oh, did you?
Weird.
Oh, hold on, wait. Maybe it just needs to be made bigger. Sorry, technical.
No. It may have. Sponsors. Oh, I just wrote sponsor.
All right.
So I rolled a 5, a 3, and a 6. So I have rolled a basically reckless success, I believe.
Yes.
I have no other choices.
Get that rotated for you. Okay, reckless success.
Did I roll reckless success last time as well? No, I didn't.
I think you rolled cautious.
Cautious success. Okay.
Yep.
So continuing the most common outcomes, Palooza. So I think we're trying to basically make, like, we're trying to find out this information about it. Let's start at the beginning. We're trying to find out what the Duke's plan here is by talking to the government, like, when did the Duke show up? What did he do? That sort of thing. What does he want? Any ideas? I'm not entirely sure what the Duke's plan is here.
So I think maybe an initial question is, are you even able to contact a Duke? Or like, who are you talking to? Is the Duke himself a representative? Is it just some terminal with a recording of the Duke's voice on it?
No, I'm talking to the provisionary government. I'm talking to the acting.
Oh, sorry, the provisionary government. Sorry, my bad.
Because they would probably know about the guy who basically invaded their country, their world. Right? They may be wrong. They may not know a lot. They might just know what he told them, but I doubt he told them the same thing they told us. Because that'd be a weird thing to do when you show up and there's like this people who are having a hard time with their planet, and then you just kind of start doing stuff. You send in a group of other people to do stuff. Like, what do you tell this group? Anything?
What if he's like presenting himself as like a super genius? And he's coming in there like, oh, I came to your planet because I saw all these problems and I'm gonna solve all these problems for you and I'm gonna make your whole planet like the coolest, bestest planet ever. If you just let
he promised.
Yeah, he's like making big promises somehow, like some kind of improvement or.
So he promised them revitalization.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I feel like it would be great if they totally bought it. Like, they believe what we think is probably a foolhardy promise.
The, what was that Simpsons bit with the monorail?
Yes, so he promised the revitalization of Ak, which is the actual name of the world.
Yeah.
And so I get to come up with a result, though. Despite my failure here. So I could have an agreement card with them, right?
Yeah.
So how do agreements work? This is one of the ones I was like, this is more or less a thing in the world. It's the only thing that's not a thing in the world is the agreement cards. So it's
an
a little bit like, this is more vague.
Yeah. So basically it's like any kind of agreement between two folks could be an agreement card. By making it a card, you're like making it more set in stone. So like think of an international agreement like the Paris Agreement or something. What's some sort of like joint policy or venture or things you want to do? Maybe you come to each other's military defense. Maybe it's something more complex than that. Maybe it's like a trade network you've established through this agreement, right?
Interesting. So Charlie Delta goes there, he finds out the promises of revitalization and makes an agreement with the ACAC ministry to ensure that their planet is revitalized.
Maybe to gather, because you're this kind of like underground, resistance movement type thing. Maybe they get you to gather dirt on the Duke so that they have something in case he doesn't hold up his end of the agreement. They have something they can pull on him, like evidence or something, or bribery or whatever.
Okay, I like that. So this is the Joint Shadow Watch Concord.
Watch the shadows.
An agreement to pool intel on the Duke's efforts on Korak. In this conjugation, it is appropriate to use the word Korak. Rather than the planet Ak, right? And then the signatories of this will be Ogre and the ACAC ministry.
Yeah. It's super interesting. This gets you thinking about stuff that you don't normally really think about in terms of world building. Like, I find like this is getting me.
Oh, and I get a tag. Does the number of tags matter?
For agreements, I should have written that down. I don't believe so.
What's an appropriate tag for an agreement? Like I said, when I read those, I was like it was less obvious to me because it's kind of
Maybe like mutual, like there's some kind of mutual benefit or drawback for both of you if you break this accord.
I feel like covert
just
also
mutual
works.
resistance. Oh, covert. Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yes, definitely covert.
And let's go that and resistance, because I think it's a thing that you wouldn't do if you were like not being resistant. Guess card needs to be a bit wider. There.
You could also, I don't know, maybe you could also call it like cautious. Like maybe it's just them being cautious.
Yeah, like a contingency.
Ooh, contingency. Covert and
Yeah.
contingency.
Like some of them still believe that he's gonna pull through, but
there we go. Does that work?
In terms of cost, open to ideas, but I think the ultimate way to twist the knife into Ogre as like the result of their reckless success is we find out there's a different faction which isn't a government, but is like the anarchist opposition to the government. And it's ironic that Ogre is aligned with the provisionary government in this case and not with the anarchist group.
Okay. Okay.
You're not cool enough to hang out in our clubhouse with the cool anarchist kids.
Well, they're always the coolest.
I was trying to think of like I almost like the idea of it being like strongly identified with a certain occupation. I mean, my default would have been farmers, although I mean that's kind of my Arcus, so it feels weird to suggest that. But like, what do we think is like the prototypical laborer in this context?
Maybe machine operators? Like operators of a wide variety of machines that use the spirits to power themselves, like heaters and street cleaners and plumbing and electricity and power tools. I don't know.
I like that the implication
What's
of
it
that.
called in? What's the term they use in the board game Monopoly? Oh yeah. How about the core utility union?
Ooh.
Because core means planet, so it's a planetary utility union, and they literally provide fire and electrical elementals to power the systems.
It's really a lot of sirens. I don't know if you can hear those, but that's really a lot of sirens.
Yeah, it's not coming through.
And they're going to be a former labor union.
Ooh.
What I think is so interesting about this is that it means that because the foundation of the economy are these spirits or elementals, that the ground level of the labor is basically like the value added component, right? It's the people operating the machines and or making the machines. It's not the people supplying the base product.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else finds that interesting, but I think that's really cool.
That is neat. Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah, I think these kind of games really bring out what kind of nerd you are.
Don't need that one.
Okay. That brings us to the top of the round. This is where I would also mention that for this round and going forward, we should do a time check and see. We've got a couple rounds in. There's certainly things we haven't done in the game yet, but how are people's energy levels? I don't have an expectation for how long things will or won't go, so I just want to check in before this round, and if we do another one, certainly check in after that one as well. How are people feeling?
How long have we been playing? What time is it?
About 2-ish hours.
Okay. Well, I think we should ramp stuff up towards a thing in the next hour or so. That would be create excitement and a better watching thing. What haven't we done yet? We need to do some conflict.
Do some new stuff. Conflict, maybe.
Yeah. So
Should we end the era with this is the arrival era? And then create a new era and then give ourselves a bunch of armies or something?
So I think if we want a new era, we should do something to justify a new era. So we should stoke some sort of conflict or narrative change this round that prompts one. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's clicked on this shared thread here?
Which shared thread?
This one.
Oh,
Someone's clicked on it. Can you unclick on it? Thank you. It's impossible to read when you have it clicked on.
Really quick, is Christoph's camera frozen for anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can turn it off, but it might screw up all your stuff.
Don't worry about it then. Well, this.
Okay. I think like we could maybe do some kind of establishing a status quo kind of thing, like settling in, really settling in.
Well, if we can finish one of these threads, in the rules is written that will basically start a new era automatically, or spirit technically.
So a new era would start
So we need to know
automatically
more
if
about
we
the
retire
Shadow
3
Duke's
cards.
goal, or the cause of the devastation, which already has 2 things on it. Well, it only has 1 sponsor because of cautious successes, or the planetary exploration. I think the first 2 are more ripe than the
Yeah.
third.
Although, like, we could, I mean, as this is the intro area and the settling era.
That's true. If you establish something,
Yeah. Establish something, establish the new areas, yeah. I think
like, I think the
exploration
2 of
versus-
you especially could be very good at establishing something that would make
Mhm.
the era kind of move from a rival to the next stage. Like if you built like a proper city or
Yeah,
whatever. There's lots of things that would fit your
a settlement for sure. I'm gonna go for a settlement.
Okay, why don't you go for it then? What does that look like? Sorry, too much
I
GMing.
think no. Maybe it will look like a where'd that go? Maybe it will look like I'm my the healers organization gets sponsored to like gets to help design a new settlement, a new town. And this new town maybe is going to center around the hospital or the alchemy station or something.
Yeah, it could center around. Did you find anything that was medical stuff already?
Yeah, I found that
Medigel.
Metagel. So maybe I build a Metagel factory and then like a town springs up around it to support the factory.
Yes, Hospital Town.
I like that. What thread are you going for this?
I think that would be under
Exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah. That works for me.
So okay, so that's 3 dice because I'm using that thread, right? No.
3 if
Not
you use a pillar. Is there a pillar you think fits well here?
I mean,
The
donations
community support one.
Yeah, I think that really works.
I mean, that's what you're trying to make happen.
Yeah.
I think it failing would be really interesting because it's like you're endangering the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have to show that we're capable of managing a settlement in this regard, or like at the very least the factory efficiently and to the benefit of the people, right? Because if working at the factory sucks, like if there's big vats of chemicals or something like in comic books. Okay. Come on, good roll. Good roll. A 5, a 6, and a 2.
5 and a 2.
Yeah.
7 in there.
Hooray! I make a settlement. Let's see. What's a good word? It's a good word for ameliorate. That's a good word. So we'll call the town Amelior.
Or a panacea is also a very
Ooh, that is a great name, actually.
Especially for a Medigel factory, that's good.
Yes.
The panacea plant.
Why is it being like this?
Well, you're making Medigel, so.
Why can't I type on the? Okay.
Sometimes the cursor is like invisible and it is actually working.
I'm starting. I'm getting it. Okay. There. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do that before. Okay. So class is Medigel Factory Town. And the name
is Panacea.
And the tags is factory and maybe loyalty, like the factory is a good place to work. People like working there.
Good idea for the second tag. Immortal workers.
Is what?
Immortal workers.
Immortal workers. Ooh.
But literally, so if you work at a lead plant, what's the biggest danger? You get lead poisoning. Well, you're working at a Medigel plant. So now you're literally putting revitalizing stuff on your hands all the time, and
all day
just
long.
Makes you live longer. As long as you work there, you just don't die. Totally positive, no negative element to that in any way.
Nope, not at all.
Maybe live forever.
Like, makes a super prestigious job, like it's a big deal. It's not easy to get a job there.
I mean, you don't need to actually eat food now, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's comfortable.
Yeah.
Never have to retire either. No pension.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't need all that. You're immortal. You can work forever.
You're immortal. Functionally immortal. It's fine. As long as you're OSHA compliant. I mean, Medigel doesn't protect you from falling into the vat, but
Yeah, last guy did that. Got real funny. Became a comedian.
Turned into a boss baby. Just reverted back in age.
Yeah. But there's one vet that turns you into the Joker. Just one.
Of course.
That's part of the OSHA guidelines, so you have to have the Joker vet.
You have to have one Joker vet, per factory,
Okay.
So,
are you also going to work on this exploration thread there, CFO?
Well, that was our third progress on the exploration thread, which means we should then ask the question, is this the resolution of the thread? Typically 3 progress marks means yes, unless we feel strongly that something isn't met that needs to be met. To me, it feels like a decent resolution of it.
Okay. We came to the planet. We discovered woolly creatures and Medigel, and then built factories to exploit them. Excellent.
Yeah, pretty good life so far.
So that means that this thread then becomes resolved. So what we do is we narrate how this thread resolves, right? So the initial question or concept was this idea of planetary exploration. We saw some things progress by that. What would we say comes about from that, right? Is there a lot of the planet left to be explored? Is the results mainly we've gained new products to sell or to manufacture? And then based off that, we also need to have the IHO and CAFO get 2 narrative effects. So we get to pick a little bonus from the fact that we were sponsors as a result of this thread wrapping up.
So I have a general idea for the thing, since I won't get my any narrative effects on top of it.
Yeah.
I was thinking that you have now, as the IHO, discovered the most important thing in Jupiter Ascending. I mean, in the universe. which is Anagathics. You now
Which is what?
basically have the spice from Dune. You have
Oh,
anti-aging
yeah.
meds.
Yes.
As long
Yes.
as people take them, they live forever.
Yeah.
You just won the ultimate lottery of biotech. And now
Yeah.
we live on Dune. We're on the most important planet in the universe, and that never causes any problems whatsoever. And it's all
Really
harmony now.
fun. Yeah.
People aren't going to want to come here and get all the things.
Nope. Nope. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine.
Who's going to play the Harkonnens coming to take over the mining of the Metashell?
I think also that the easy to explore areas in this on this planet have been explored. The parts that haven't been explored yet are like the really challenging, you know, your jungles and your deep sea and your, you know.
And I think the motivation for it would probably be lost. People know what this planet's about now. It's about Anagathics. Like, why do you care
Yeah.
about
What?
looking for copper when you have the gold? Like,
Yeah.
you just found the gold. Like,
So there could be more stuff out there.
oh, I'm sure there is. Just nobody gives a crap because you just found the ultimate treasure, right? Like,
Right. Exactly.
if the conquistadors literally walked into the city of gold, they probably wouldn't bother with anything else.
Looking any further. Yeah.
Yeah, they would just keep sure they had control of that city of gold. They wouldn't worry about the rest of the
Yeah,
continent.
that's a good point. I like that. That's
I
really
feel like I'm suddenly the good guys in that we're not seeking immortality. Oh, it's quaint. We're just looking to farm.
I mean, you can change your organization in the new
Yeah,
era, I believe, right?
that's true.
So
I
what
kind
was
of
you?
like this.
So we need two narrative effects. So that's two things from the table, right?
Mhm.
So
So what
maybe
do you?
one effect could be that initially the IHO was just like a bit player, like they just sort of sent this um space station out there because they always send a space station full of, you know, a couple of medics uh to any new colony or any new uh you know, planet exploration or whatever. And they, you know, because of this find, they've become unexpectedly powerful. They become a powerful and influential organization despite their humble
Can,
beginnings.
can we make them the big bad? You just
Maybe
agree
they
to retire,
slowly,
and your narrative effect is that we convert it into a big bad
yeah, they slowly
thread
became,
card.
yeah,
Is
Yeah,
that
that does.
ridiculous?
I like
No,
it. I like it.
So that means you'd have to make up a new group, and we'd turn this one into the big bad.
Okay.
and that would take place in the era transition. So I think we're deciding if we all like that. That at the end of this round, the era is going to be over.
Yes. So what is your narrative effect then, CEFO?
Yeah. So again, this now feels quaint. But we put up that exclusion device to keep out the shepherds. But at the same time, we see the value in those shepherds. And so I've created a military unit, which is basically taken those shepherds and genuinely humanely turned them into rifles. So again, there's no slavery. We're assuming that these elementals are like willing because through this arrangement they get to help guard the wool elementals, but they're now also harnessed by guards to keep away intruders.
Yes. When we called them shepherds, we didn't mean actual people that were like
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah.
They were like a symbiotic organism that protected the wool, the steel wool elementals from, because it's nature, from nature stuff happening. And
Yeah.
now you have a bunch of extras, so you convert them into power cells for your gun, living power cells for guns. And so is that going to be a unit?
Yes. So they have shock rifles, which I'm calling shepherd rifles. I have named them Pyrenees as a reference to Pyrenees, of course, talking about the labyrinth, and also to reference Pyrenees dogs, which are guard dogs.
Can we call them lightning Pyrenees?
Ooh.
Or shock Pyrenees? Shock, like shock troopers. Yeah.
That's really good. I know that's it.
Sweet.
That'll help me for the coming war with the overlords.
Okay.
All right.
So the era is the I think it would be the colonization, settlement, or arrival era. Something like that, right?
So let's come back to that, because we still have 2 more turns.
We still take turns? We don't just end it?
We should finish it up so that it's kind of an equal progression. But we know that the era will be over at the end of this.
Okay. Do you have a thing you want to do? Things works for me, so I have something to deal with.
Do you say you do have an idea or you don't?
I'm not sure. I was like, hey, make something worse for me so I can deal with this.
Yeah. I think one of us should progress the devastation, because I think I would like to see that wrapped up.
I could probably do that. I was just trying to think of how. Okay. So I will create I'm trying to think if I need a new figure for this. Yeah, I'm gonna create a new figure who's going to be like an archaeologist who's gonna dig into the ancient city and find proof of what happened. I don't know if there's any point in writing this since I lose this character anyways.
It's still nice, because then it gets thrown in the history pile, so we know this person was important.
Yeah. Okay, so archaeologist Indigo Juliet is what is a perfectly logical code name for an archaeologist.
I'm loving the commitment to the bit.
And he's an ecological investigator. Okay. And so don't look too close. Archaeologist is spelled wrong, but it won't help me fix it. So he goes, or this archaeologist sneaks out in the middle of the night and digs down underneath Downport, because Downport is smaller than it should be, and it's got all the stuff that the Duke put there because it was here when we arrived. And the ancient city where the people of this planet used to live is underneath. And so he digs down inside it. And I don't know if any of my pillars will aid with this. Sure, spirit bombs.
Ooh.
He uses the spirits literally as explosives to help clear tunnels so he can move very quickly before he's noticed by the corporate overlords above.
Who don't want to hear about any of this prior.
Well, they just might not like people digging around underneath the settlement, literally.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 5 and 2 2s, which you can't see because my camera is super busted for no apparent reason.
We trust you.
Okay, so how do we do this again? This is the part that I'm a little bit
So
I lose.
you get a perfect success. You get to
Yes.
select a narrative effect and narrate how that goes. In other words, my question would be like, what do you find down there?
I find that the Shadow Duke had an export organization working out of this exact location. I find the original space elevator that was here before, and it's way bigger. Everything's bigger. And he exported a lot off of this planet. There's like records and all sorts of stuff down there, which was all like underneath the earth and kind of crushed. And there's like the classic slider style newspaper, or that episode of Stargate where it's like invaders take everything, planet goes wild, and
Boom.
basically it talks about the Great Storm and that sort of thing that you see these newspaper articles for, and then it just stops because nobody
Yeah.
was making newspapers because they were busy not trying not to die as the whole planet went crazy. And what do I get?
So maybe there's like something else down there aside from this that is particularly valuable to you.
Oh,
Surprise.
interesting.
Maybe a new kind of elemental.
Yeah, I suppose I could get a unit out of that. I could also... I was also thinking I could... No, that wouldn't work because we're ending the thing. I was saying I could empower the... Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The conspiracy goes even deeper than we thought.
Yes, that's what I find. Okay, so I find, and I'm going to express this as a unit. I find the actual Duke.
Oh.
The Duke's been replaced by one of his minions, who was the one running this, and the Duke was here doing an inspection because he was concerned about reports he was getting. And when all the damage and everything happened, he put himself in suspended animation because he's got like all the tech, and he's basically just sitting there with like his bodyguards and everything. And so now I have a unit of a very vengeful, like, royal guard unit led by the actual Duke. And they're like grav cycles and super powerful, like atomic weapons and stuff.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's definitely a season finale kind of plot twist, I think. Yeah, one of those plot twists that you do not see coming at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hint.
So I'm calling them a remnant ducal guards, and they'll be called the Shadow Division.
So I have two ideas for them. So the Duke put themselves in suspended animation. I'd like to think the guards were not. So it could be that the guards were like robotic, so they just survived all this time fine. Or maybe the guards were just people and they have just been living and surviving and maybe even procreating down there for however long it's been. and maybe the current living guards haven't even met the Duke before.
That's interesting. Or the final one I was thinking of is the Duke's got like all this tech from this world and everything, and all this spirit tech. They're actually just not actually. They're literally living shadows. It's like a like a thing where he makes a bunch of versions of himself. And so
Yeah.
when you fight, that's why he's called the Shadow Duke. Is because he basically has, like the classic D&D spell where he makes a bunch of himself, except they all fight and they're living shadow hologram versions of him.
Maybe they're like tamed
Holographic
shadow
duplicates.
elementals.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go.
He figured out how to tame the shadow elementals.
Shadow elemental duplicates.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the Shadow Division. They're so cool that they'll probably make a video game about them.
All the cool kids want to grow up to be a member of the Shadow Division.
Even though you can't really join the Shadow Division.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can. Maybe they'll find a way.
Experimental procedure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, and then I will write all this crazy crap down on the shared thread now.
And then that thread will resolve, and we'll narrate how that thread resolves and also what the bonus effect from the sponsorships are, which would be you two.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like in that last narrative action, we basically resolved it. Like we kind of got the full arc there in that reveal. So I'm not sure if there's too much more we need to outline, but we certainly can if we'd like.
I think maybe there's like some people who are upset at the whole like change in the healer organization because they started out as the good guys. And but then when they discover this like anti-aging, thing, like there's just no way of keeping, once like the corporate overlords sort of found out about this, the existence of this, there was no keeping them. There was no keeping them. The IHO basically just got taken over by this corporation. So
so are you trying to create a like military unit for yourself of like ex IMO doctors or something?
maybe they're like,
so I'm trying to interpret what you're saying as one of the
I was just
mechanics. So I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. Like,
yeah, for sure.
What if there was like people who who still maintain this sort of main goals of the IHO initially? Like, what did they want initially?
So there's an interesting question for our esteemed game designer. Our IHO person here is going to have a couple different units. Does she, as the creator of the IHO, when she creates her new group and they become the big bad, get these? Can she get one of them? Like she's describing one here as basically an anti-IHO group on its own. Does she get that for the new organization?
I thought the big bad meant that I didn't control that organization anymore.
You don't.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I would now control the rebels. The IHO rebel faction.
But you get one more result one, and I'm trying to find out whether or not that's going to belong to the IHO or if that's going to belong to a new group that we don't technically create until the next era.
Yeah, so we can do whatever we want with the actual effect. I think it makes sense to make a unit and give it to like the anarchist faction group, which would seemingly represent the force opposed to IHO. And then we could work out, well, who controls what basically at the start of the next era. This era would be
Because
wrapping
if she
things
wants
up.
to take control of this anarchist group, the core utility union, she could. Like we could
Yeah,
make them
yeah,
work.
yeah. They could decide to do that if they wanted to. Yeah, and that would be decided at the start of the next era, not the end of this one, because who knows how long it would be before you'd play the second one. And I know I personally.
So this is your unit here. I just put one in there for you, and then you just need to give it that name.
Okay.
And it's going to belong to this anarchist group. That's what we just decided, right? Okay.
If that sounds.
That sounds awesome. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Personally.
Okay.
So I put one here for you, right here.
Just hit the button on the side of it.
Okay. Oh, this tag here. Okay.
Yeah. If it doesn't work for you, just make a new one. I just thought it was being helpful, but
No,
I'm not.
Wait.
Okay.
It's all wonky.
Do I get another good effect then? Okay.
Yes.
So
because you were the sponsor, a sponsor.
What do I want? Let me look.
So ideally, we should narratively tie it in with like this probing into the devastation.
Yes. I'm tempted to have another agreement, or actually, just a second. Can I make one of those? So I can't just start a war thread with this, right?
I don't think it's explicitly in there.
It isn't.
But I think you could. That also does seem. No, I think you could do that. It is a thread. It's a type of thread, so you could create a thread that is a war thread. Yeah.
And which one is that? Which?
That would be
create a thread quest.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna create a war thread, and I'm not sure how this works exactly.
Yeah, so like an era, a war thread kind of gets defined during and after we use it. So for now, you could just say war thread and then say Ogre declares war on X.
Interesting. So it'd be me who'd be doing it. Interesting. Okay.
I mean, more parties can be on the war if they would like to be.
I actually was wondering if the two factions would want to be on this as well, because they get the information of what happened from Ogre, and so the three of them would declare war on the IHO.
Yeah, I think they could certainly be involved. I would have one question though, which is you do have this agreement with the provisionary government, but would the provisionary government side with you over the IHO?
I don't know. The anarchist group probably would.
Yeah, I think the anarchist group is totally on your side.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take over the anarchist group there,
yeah,
would you want to do that? Let's ask you that.
Sure.
Okay. Do you like the name? Are you going to keep core utility union?
They were? Oh, the union?
Yeah.
You can decide that later too. Like that would be.
I'll just
core
have to
utility.
type it.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I think it's descriptive and it works.
Now, are we declaring war on the CEFO as well?
Everybody, let's declare war on everyone.
Sorry, dude.
Just assuming that I'm on the IHO side. I mean, I probably am.
Actually, it'd be more interesting if you weren't. That would be hilarious. Now we have three-way war.
Yeah, maybe we could figure that out on my turn.
We'll
'cause
figure that
actually, I
out
don't
next
know.
round. But I think we just
Or
include
next.
you because you're taking stuff and everyone's freaking out because they now know what happened
Sure.
on the planet.
I've been declared war on, and we're on our side being like, hey, what's happening over there? We just got this notice. This came across my desk.
It came across my desk and someone was declaring war on us? What?
It's like creating a shock troops with elemental powered weapons got people pissed off for some reason. Weird that.
They're guards.
They're guards who also go out and make sure things are guarded, not in the factory. Okay, what else? What do we do next?
Okay, so lastly, I will take a turn. There's no thread for me to resolve. I kind of think like the Shadow Duke's goal is kind of unfinished, or like I think we got a good picture of that, even though that thread hasn't been resolved. So I think it just makes sense for me to progress my personal thread here. So we're kind of on the eve of this big whole world transition. And I still want to, at the very least, amass some elementals before the whole paradigm shifts, right? And maybe that's a bit more
that's smart.
Low priority. So I'm thinking, what would I like to cultivate before things go to shit? I think maybe what we do, and I think this ties with the exploration thread, it says something came about that, is we would, as part of our amassing elementals, I think we've well used the Grange now, and I don't like we're set up there. I don't think we need to plummet further. But I think what we could do is basically lay out those known travel routes as ways to get to new elementals. So we had talked about how the world is now easier to traverse, and I think this could totally show that by just like marking out a series of maps with unknown destinations on the world as we know it, which would then probably be the future battle lines.
Are we building a train?
I don't think Cepho would build a train. They seem more like an off-road truck kind of operation.
Yeah, but at least roads, right? Like.
Yeah, I think we would build roads though. I thought about building like a grain elevator, but I think the space elevator takes care of that, especially if we decide we want to be friendly.
Okay, let me just try.
We need something to fight over. We don't have too many rounds left, so.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have a lot to fight over next era, namely the Meta-Gel.
Okay, like I just wanted to see if it worked. But.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking. Am I going to use
good? Let's roll these dices
here? I don't think my. I think capital. I will do the. Yeah. I'm using my capital. I'm burning it to try to make some roads. Roads aren't cheap.
No, they're actually extremely expensive.
3d6. That is a 3, 4, and a 6. So that would be a perfect success.
Nice.
What? Are you seriously not going to use the one to make sure you get a reckless failure?
I could do 4 and 6, which would be a reckless success, which I am kind of tempted to because that would erode my startup capital. But in the new era, we would get a chance to replace our pillars or change our pillars somewhat anyways. So it seems unnecessary, I think.
Yeah.
And almost certainly be rid of that one.
Okay.
I think I'll take the perfect success. I will add myself an area of effect of my choice and a sponsor on the thread, which is not too relevant as it will not be finishing up.
But when you complete it, your next era, you're going to get.
That's true. I will carry it over to the next era. Okay, so I'm going to establish a road system for scouting new elementals. This has been kind of a little unstated. I like that we have two names for these things. Some people call them spirits and some elementals, and the corporate is on the elemental train.
Hey, you said you were going to build roads, not trains.
Nice. Okay, so I am going to basically just draw in a bunch of these roads real quick. Let's do a nice dark gray. Go for a small size. So I think they'll be like not clear cut, like a lot of spider web things. I imagine the uncharted parts of the planet are along the edges of the map right now, and that maybe there's like a lot of hazardous fields or mountains or whatever, such that it looks almost kind of like a river tributary system, with all of it ending in the feedlot, of course, because we want to be the final destination here.
Oh,
Final
yeah.
destination indeed.
So let's do something like that. That's quite a lot of map marking, but I think that kind of benefits everyone.
Look at that map.
Oh, yeah,
It's so
that's
marked.
neat.
Oh yeah, looks like it's egg cracking.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the round. We have agreed that the era is over. So now to wrap things up, we can go through the steps for concluding an era. So let me grab that up. Hey, camera's working.
Hooray!
I bullied it into work.
Okay, so let's start the transition process. First step is cut off loose ends and threads. So we each select up to one thread card and then retire the rest. So the question is, we only have 4 threads out there, and we each get to choose up to one. You don't have to choose one if you don't want. So the question is, do you want to keep your personal thread or not? And do you want to keep a shared thread? If you get rid of your personal thread, you will get a new one in the next era.
I am getting rid of my personal thread.
I think that makes sense.
It's going to get meaner.
Yeah. I have to get rid of mine because I have to start a whole new organization. So
Yeah. I will keep
Yeah,
mine.
but all your stuff's going to go into the big bad stuff, so.
yeah, exactly. It'll be great.
So we would, I seem to be stuck on the pen here, but we would move these personal threads. There we go. I think that works. Okay. I would move these personal threads beneath the era card. I think we should get rid of the shared thread. Do people agree?
Yeah, we start some new ones.
And I think we should keep the war thread.
That makes sense.
God damn it. I deleted some of my stuff by mistake.
Oops.
Can you control and do it?
I did. That's how I deleted it. Now it keeps on deleting stuff.
You could forward, I think on the left side panel.
Oh, there we go.
Undo your undo.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I think we should keep the war thread because that just started and seems still relevant.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, each player selects up to one figure controlled by any player and retired all other figures. I am getting rid of my figure. They don't seem super relevant anymore.
We just have to get rid of one or keep one.
You choose one to keep, but you don't have to keep one if you don't want to. So up to one. And I just don't think mine is relevant.
I don't know how to... Oh, here we go. Okay, so that's the one I want to keep. My specialist. Even if they don't. Oh wait, no, actually, I'm not gonna.
I think you can give them to the anarchist group if you want to.
Actually, I was thinking maybe I should keep the foragers. The frowagers. I think they will be more useful.
Okay.
That was just my thought.
I think so. And then the specialists go retire into the era.
Yeah, the specialist got hired by the big corporation.
Yeah.
Took over.
Next, each player chooses up to one faction card, retire all other faction cards. So we have two factions. The anarchist group is becoming anarchist next turn, so
Yeah.
that's fine. The question is, do we want the provisionary government to stick around? Or do we want to like
No.
merge it into the big and bad?
Yeah, let's merge it into the big bad. That sounds fun.
I agree. And I think that means the agreement also goes away then.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, so two more steps. The next step, name the era. So given all that happened, what do we think we should name the era?
I like exploration era or
Arrival.
arrival. Yeah, that sounds good.
Exploitation. I think arrival makes more sense.
Mhm.
That's usually what they call alien invasions, just arrival.
Yeah. I like that too. Okay. The final idea is to pull on thread ideas. So in other words, as we prepare to transition to the new era, which will be next play session if there were one, sorry, I sound like myself. We should basically take a card and just write down a series of questions, plot points, or possible threads that we might want to explore. The idea being the game is really fresh in our head right now, but when we next pick it up, it probably won't be as fresh. So what are some things like that could become thread cards, things we want to know or play for next era?
So we have our war thread already.
Yeah.
Um,
It could be like resolving the war or taking back control of the metagel production would be like a goal. Or putting that production into the hands of the people.
maybe using because we have that elemental convergence that we created at the very beginning. We could use that to like drive IHO off the planet.
Yeah.
I noticed the universe card, the plant with the metagel significance. That's spelled weird. That is already kind of taken into your new settlement, so we might not need that universal card anymore.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I think it's a lot going to be around like the war for the world.
Yeah.
I think also pulling the Duke in. Like I could imagine a thread with like how to get the false Duke to come to the planet so we can deal with him. I mean, if you look at the story, it's like the story Dune, right? Like half the war was all about getting the Emperor to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah, maybe
he
like
could have went in and invaded way earlier, but didn't. He did a bunch of disruptions so that the Emperor would get fed up and show up on the planet because he felt challenged. If he would have just done the bombs right away and went in, he could have taken it, but then the Emperor wouldn't have been there. So I think a thread of getting the Shadow Duke to show up kind of would be cool.
Yeah. That is a good idea.
So to that effect, I think I just wrote to make that person part of the story because they haven't been super part of the story yet.
Yeah.
So however that looks.
Yeah.
And I think I make one more note that's like, what is, I know we're going to be in war, but what is really the new normal? Because I think there's a lot of unanswered questions about alliances and what exactly falls. How do the people that live here actually relate to the IHO? Like, we'll definitely figure that out, but like, no idea what's happening with that right now.
That's a neat idea. That's a good thought.
Yeah, so this is like, it's kind of ironic because what destroyed the planet last time probably isn't happening now, because now the metagel is more important than the elemental exporting that they were doing before.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you avoided your last apocalypse. Look at this new one. This new shiny apocalypse, completely different.
I like that.
It's like, you avoided climate change and now you're dealing with
Yeah.
dephasing problems or something. It's like, what? A completely new pandemic. So different. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that well wraps up this actual play of Galactic Dawn. Thanks everyone for sticking around and playing it.
There you go. I think the conflict mechanics are a little bit of an advanced mechanic.
Yeah.
Because you can't easily do them, no matter how, unless you try really hard, and I kind of tried.
Yeah.
To actually fight people in the first era is difficult. And I think that's an interesting thing about the system. It really gives it a
like that gives you
beyond one session kind of gaming element.
Yeah, and it encourages you to think a little more deeply, not just about the details of the war, but like why? What's your motivation? You know?
Because you're forced to do narrative actions. You can't go to conflict actions. You don't have units.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's something I noticed when I read the text that you sent, is that they don't have units, and I brought it up as a thing that I noticed, but I wasn't, whether I said or not, I wasn't sure if that should be, or if it's like a thing that I didn't understand. And so it's interesting that's like on purpose. So you can create a figure whenever you want, but creating a unit is quite difficult. It's a process. So I'd be actually really interested to see how the conflict worked, because it doesn't seem easy to destroy units either. So a lot of battles, I think, will happen before a unit just is eliminated.
Well, you'll have to play it again sometime to get there. But yeah, I appreciate all of that.
I know, it's great. It's a really interesting mechanics for making you think about things and build your world, and I feel like this is the kind of game that you could bring into like a screenwriting room, you know?
I think it's interesting because it's
like
more active than some setting generation world builders. It's a little bit more active because of the conflict element.
Yes. I like that. I really like that. I like that it's, and I like that it's encouraging you to continue to develop the story as opposed to just create the world and then go from there. Like, this is more of a keep going, you know? Kind of a, yeah.
Okay.
You know, on outside.
Yeah. Yeah.